We were just talking about a marathon, and if you know anything about marathons, you hear people talk about the wall, often between 20 to 22, 23 miles there, which just feels like you're just not gonna make it, right? And people learn to push through that wall, and it's an emotional battle because your body's telling you you can't make it. No different than the feelings are telling you often in your relationships that you can't make it. You push through the wall and there are rewards. But like the wall, there are hard times in marriage too. We're gonna talk about the hardest times to stay commitment right now. What are some of them?
Well, first of all, let me play off your scenario,
okay,
or your analogy of a marathon. There's two types of races. There's sprints and there's marathons.
Right.
A sprint, the most important part of a sprint is how you start.
Yes, exactly.
It's how you start. And that's why these people have to get in the blocks and they got to keep practicing over and over again to come out. Because if you don't start just right, you won't make it.
You've already lost it.
And see, that's what people think marriage is, and they're wrong.
And that's what they do the wedding, right? That's the big start. Look at how big this is. This is gonna be great.
And you got to make sure you got enough money, and you got to have enough education, and you got to date for 37 years first, and make sure you're not too young, and all this other stupid nonsense that has nothing to do, by the way. We can get into an argument some other time. Okay. But it has nothing to do with it. A successful marriage is not based on the start. A marriage is a marathon. You look at the start of a marathon, it doesn't mean anything.
No, it
standing
doesn't.
around scratching their armpits, it doesn't matter. You can fall down, have three guys run over your head, get up, and you can still win, okay? Because it is not important the start. It's important the running. And you run and you run, you think you're gonna die. And then you get this runner's high, and you think you're gonna go to heaven. And then you think you're gonna die. And then you think you're gonna go to heaven. That's marriage right there.
Yes, it is.
Right? And the people who get the awards are the ones who finish. It's not about the start, it's not about the soulmate, it's not about being perfect. Every time somebody starts having a bad time in their marriage, listen to them. Doc, every time, they'll go back to the beginning. Well, we were too young. Or we didn't know each other good enough, or we didn't have enough money, or we were dumber than bricks, or whatever the deal was. Bad decision. It's not about the start. It's about the running of the marathon.
But in those early years of marriage, whether it's your first, second, third, it doesn't matter which marriage it is, it's so easy to get disillusioned in the sense of you then want to bail out of the race. And it's like you said, the feeling of just, I can't keep going. But it's, you think, not only just am I not happy, but you're thinking, I married the wrong person.
Yeah. Well, and you get expectations too, right? And you have that silver platter idea that this marriage should be easy. And so the expectations, right? This is what I thought. I didn't bargain for this. He used to be really nice and sweet. Now he's not even around. And so the expectations are all messed up. That's part of it too.
So what do you, I want both of you to say one thing to people who are in those first years and they're thinking, I don't think I want this.
Who's the guy that was in charge of Britain during the World War II? What's his name?
Churchill.
Winston Churchill gave one of the most famous speeches he ever gave. And he got up, and all these, at the big pomp and circumstance, and he finally got up, and he stood in front of all these people, and all he said was, never, never, never give up. And he sat down. That was his whole speech. And it's famous to this day. That's my word to people who are married. Don't give up. Hang in there. Yeah. That is the key.
Interesting complications, though. You got health issues sometimes. I mean, seriously, someone has a head injury. They're not the same anymore. Someone goes through depression. I didn't marry this. Someone has an accident, paraplegic. I'm flying yesterday coming back from someone who was from Texas. And she said, I married this guy, and we'd agreed that he wasn't going to smoke. Last weekend, he's back to, I didn't want to marry a smoker. He's back to smoking. And so she respectfully challenged him on it, but later she told me, because I was impressed, she actually said, you know what? I married him knowing he had MS. I'm saying, that's pretty committed, because she knows what MS is because her cousin has, that disease. And that's commitment, eh? Through even an illness, right? In sickness and health, we say.
Again, though, what are some things that can help people during those times? Because that is a lonely road. I mean, what about those lonely times in marriages where you feel like depression or the physical things, you feel like it's just you?
Yeah. Well, again, there's all kinds of things you can do. It's an open-ended question. It's kind of hard to answer. There's all kinds of things you can do, and your whole show is about what to do, and everything I deal with couples, this is how you do it. This is how you succeed. Yeah. So there is no one thing. The underlying thing that gets you to what to do is just, I'm not going to give up. Right. I am committed to this. I am going to succeed. There is no back door. My wife says the only way out is through a body bag. All right? We're in this for life.
No,
okay?
I understand that. And I'll, that's awesome.
But you want me to die? Is that what that is?
That's awesome. And I can say every time I have felt like giving up and yet didn't and went through it, I found myself in a new place in our marriage that we had never been before.
Yes.
And I really do think it's better than where we were. Mark Gungor, thank you so much for being there. But more than that, thank you for being someone who lives out commitment. Yes. With his wife. I really, really appreciate that. For those of you who want 5 ways to recover from a broken heart, because you wanted commitment, but the one you were committed to didn't, please go to our website. Come back for the bottom line. We want to cheer you on.